Going abroad for a once-in-a-lifetime immersion experience may seem like a dream come true, but it can quickly turn into a nightmare when you don't know the customs or the language of your chosen country. Amanda Knox quickly found this out when she discovered her shared home unlocked and her roommate, Meredith Kircher, brutally murdered. Before long, Amanda, her boyfriend, Rafael Solecito, and her new boss, Dia Patrick Lumumba, were being spun into a tale of twisted sex games gone wrong, attracting the attention of the world to the small Italian city of Perugia. Italian prosecutors concentrated on the alleged wrongdoings of the University of Washington student, whose MySpace nickname of Foxy Knoxy sparked a plethora of stories about her being a promiscuous man-eater, despite the fact that all clear physical evidence pointed elsewhere. Amanda Knox left Seattle with a loving, although divorced family. Amanda discovered a knack for languages after picking up German from her grandmother and entertained her dream of becoming a translator. At the age of 15, Amanda, together with her family, went on a vacation to Italy for the first time. She went to Rome, Pisa, the Amalfi Coast, and Pompeii ruins. Italian became her language of choice. She worked 3 jobs and saved the money to study in Perugia. Her sister and she traveled and, almost by happenstance, met a girl tacking up a poster at the college. One interview later, and Amanda felt like an adult. She was making her own decisions, moving out and getting a job all by herself, never realizing how lonely her life would become. The apartment was a 4-bedroom ground floor, shared with 3 other women: Meredith Kircher, a British exchange student, and 2 Italian trainee attorneys in their late 20s, Filomena Romanelli and Laura Mazzetti. In addition, there were 4 male students renting in the one below the apartment. After nearly 6 weeks in Italy, it was November 1st, a national holiday, and the students were all going their separate ways. Amanda and Rafael stayed at Rafael's apartment, a common occurrence. Amanda was set to work that evening, but Patrick texted her saying that she didn't need to work. Without waiting for him to change his mind, she texted him back a direct Italian translation of the English goodbye, "See you later," something the prosecutors would use as evidence that she did indeed leave the apartment to commit a crime. On the morning of November 2nd, when Amanda returned to the apartment, she noticed that the front door was opened, which she explained away as a faulty lock, and saw bloodstains in the bathroom sink. She took a shower and noticed another blood spot on the bathroom mat. When she noticed that the toilet wasn't flushed, a house rule that she had explained to her in a painfully awkward situation, she knew that something was wrong. She ran out the door and called her mother, who advised her to call her other roommates. Filomena answered right away. Amanda dialed Meredith's English phone number next with no answer. Rafael, Amanda, and Filomena then met at the villa. Filomena's room had been ransacked and her window smashed. Amanda knocked on Meredith's door, but there was no response. Rafael attempted to force through the door, but was unsuccessful. Rafael dialed the Carabinieri, one of Italy's national police agencies. According to a recording of him, nothing had been stolen, but it was urgent because Meredith's door was locked. She wasn't returning phone calls, and there were bloodstains. Marco Chiacchietta and Monica Napoleoni were the first detectives to arrive on the site. The initial interviews were performed by Napoleoni, who questioned Amanda about her failure to raise the alarm right away, which was later widely viewed as an aberrant aspect of Amanda's behavior. Chiacchietta disregarded the evidence of a break-in, believing that the murderer had unmistakably fabricated it. Amanda was extensively questioned in the days that followed, presumably as a potential witness, without being given legal representation. since Italian law only requires the appointment of a lawyer for someone who is being investigated for a crime. Amanda's grandmother advised her to call the American embassy several times, but Amanda insisted that the police only needed her help because she was the first person on the scene. The police had kept insisting that Amanda knew something that could help them find her roommate's killer. The events that transpired after Amanda willingly entered the police station on the evening of November 5th are disputed. On November 6, 2007, police detained Patrick, Amanda, and Rafael. Amanda testified at her trial that she had spent hours upholding her original story, that she had spent the night with Rafael at his apartment and was unaware of the murder, but a group of cops refused to believe her. Amanda stated,
"I couldn't understand why they were so sure that I was the one who knew everything."
She testified to being told by the interpreter, "Probably, I didn't remember well because I was traumatized."
In my confusion, I started to imagine that maybe I was traumatized, like what they said.
In addition, Amanda claimed that a policewoman was saying, come on, remember," and then slapped her, followed by another one saying, come on.
Under the amount of pressure of everyone yelling at me, and having them tell me that they were going to put me in prison for protecting somebody.
The interrogations were so spaced that frequently Amanda was deprived of food, bathroom breaks, and sleep for long stretches of time. But this does not enhance memory. In fact, SEER, Survival, Evasion, Resistance, and Escape training has been shown to scramble people's memories, with many of the same techniques. After taking a nap in the precinct, she says that the cops simply assured her that her memories would come back with time. And so began the building of the case against Foxy Knoxy, the American seductress. And what evidence was presented? Amanda and Rafael found comfort in each other's kisses. Amanda bought red underwear when she was not allowed to go home, an exhibitionist. Amanda's tennis shoes were confiscated, and the police gave her hiking boots from her apartment. So she was dangerous. She stretched in the precinct. She was trying to seduce the cops. She didn't remember all the knives in her junk drawer. She obviously was overlooking the murder weapon. She was afraid to go to Meredith's memorial alone. She didn't care about her friend. Opinion in Italy was not largely positive. Much of this had to do with how different behavior was expected. Amanda behaved like an American. She sat, letting her lawyer drive her case, partly on her lawyer's advice. It was this, even more than the mismatched evidence, a murder weapon that didn't match the wounds, a contaminated crime scene, and misleading photo evidence, that convicted her and Rafael. The story of the prosecution changed from Patrick being the third man involved to a man that was at the villa that evening. In Germany, on November 20th, 2007, Rudy Gaudet, a 20-year-old student from Perugia, was pulled from a train after detectives discovered his DNA on bloody footprints at the crime scene and inside of Meredith's body. Rudy claims that he had sexual relations with the victim that evening, and that he was in the restroom when Meredith was murdered. However, Rudy was still extradited back to Italy. Then, Rudy, Amanda, and Rafael were accused of working together to commit the homicide. Rudy agreed to testify against Amanda and Rafael. On December 5th, 2009, Amanda, who was 22 at the time, was found guilty.
But her pleas fell on deaf ears. Amanda Knox is now a convicted killer.
According to Amanda's attorneys, the prosecution's case that she should face a new trial for killing her roommate started with an error and continues to insist on the errors. In addition, the prosecutor, Giuliano Mignini, had come under review for his unsavory practices. such as bugging rooms that were not allowed, consulting psychics in lieu of evidence, and a penchant for pinning murders on satanic cults. In fact, an early theory of his was that Meredith was murdered as part of a satanic ritual.
The scenario that my prosecutor painted, and he painted a few different scenarios because he couldn't really, his imagination was going wild and there wasn't a lot of actual, obviously there wasn't any evidence to support any of them, but he kept thinking, okay, it's the day after Halloween, so maybe it's a satanic sex ritual.
In 2015, Amanda and Rafael were exonerated.
But after serving 4 years, they were acquitted on appeal in 2011.
Silenzio! Silenzio, per favore! Silenzio!
Amanda Knox has been found not guilty in the murder of Meredith Kircher.
And McNeely and his partner were sentenced for 16 months for abuse of power. The verdict towards Amanda and Rafael is largely regarded as an injustice. Fortunately, the error was fixed, regardless of how many years Amanda was affected.
People were trying to find the answers in my eyes. It was this attempt to project this monster onto me, but really we need to look at the objective evidence that's available to us, and that has nothing to do with me.
What do you think about the story of Amanda Knox? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe for more interesting videos. Thank you for watching and take care.